Hi Pisces, this is Gemstone bringing you your December 2020 reading. It's interesting. So I recognized I got a download, and through the download I recognized that my readings have been quite long and I wanted to reduce them because the recording that I did for Cancer was 50 minutes and that was the longest reading. I'm still going to post it for December, for Cancer's December 2020 reading, but it showed me that reducing the length of time of the reading will improve the receiving of the message. So I went about doing that for your reading just a few minutes ago and felt insecure about it and deleted it. But what I don't want to do, or what I want to do, is move out of that space of feeling uncomfortable and feeling as though my discomfort will be negatively received. This is a message that's from beyond me, and I want to be trusted with that information, want to be trusted with this, with the message. So here it is. Here's your message. You got all majors on this. This was at the bottom of the deck when I initially did it. This was at the bottom. So you have all majors. And how I did it was I shuffled this top deck, kind of explained it, and then shuffled the bottom deck to get more clarification. My goal is to reduce the time of my readings, and I was kind of rushing myself because you are the first reading that I'm doing with the time in mind. So I wanted to just explain my sense of vulnerability here in this moment with you, Pisces. And I don't know if you're feeling vulnerable. In the pre-shuffle that I did, that I'm going to start incorporating into the description box, just writing my pre-meditation, pre-shuffle, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to put that info in the description box so that we can utilize all the space and so that all of this information doesn't have to be received in the video. But what I got was that you're in this fresh energy. It feels light. It feels warm. What I got was water. I imagine myself in water, but then at the same time I was looking at someone. So I don't know if I'm in the water. The focus didn't feel like it was on me, but I'm witnessing someone in flowing water, like a ocean with constant light waves, and the water was twinkling. We can see right to the bottom, and it wasn't far beneath my feet. It didn't feel far beneath my feet. And my perception of myself as well as viewing myself that's where it was so interesting. Like I was aware of myself, but then I can also witness myself. So I'm feeling this energy of you becoming the observer and then observing the observer when you come out of that state. Observing the observer, if that makes any sense to you. I just feel this sense of emotional stability with you. And then there was also this sense of a fresh start. The sense of a new beginning. Let me say that, a new beginning. Not so much a fresh start, but a new beginning. Felt really, really fresh. Really fresh. And what was kind of interfering with the receiving of this wholeness from you is the feeling of an overthinking way of being. And having to, I don't want to say silence that, but transmute that energy. Transcend it. So the vibe that I'm getting here is an ascension. Oh, this is how it was. I feel the vibe with an ascension with here. These two. So not only is there a new cycle, not only is the cycle turning and it's continuing to turn, but now there's levels to the cycle. And I feel like it went from 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional and it's turning. It just feels like there was an ascension. And the vibe that I'm feeling is this ascension was predicated off of this moment, this eureka moment, this epiphany that took place for you. There was an epiphany that took place that challenged your sense of tradition and tradition towards you. If you were creating a bloodline, what you would make hereditary in your lifeline, in your bloodline. It felt like this is challenging how we do things, how I do things. That's how it feels. But this new piece of information, this transition feels like it is welcomed because it's understood. But what's creating some form of a rift or some form of tension is because it's conflicting with the way that you see things. And there's the transition of transitioning every aspect of yourself to this new way of being. But then also there is the transition of getting back into harmony with yourself. in terms of your integrity. Getting back to that part. That's what I feel with this. That's what I feel with this. Because it feels like you're coming out of an energy of disharmony and you're moving into a harmonious energy. And the remnants of disharmony that is left at this time are old programmings, like old ways of being. And I'm feeling that heavily with here. And to know that the Knight of Swords was the energy that I felt like it was this, it felt like sabotage, but it wasn't. It felt unconscious, or it didn't feel like it had a malicious intent. And what I'm referring to is the pre-shuffle that I did, my premeditation. It didn't feel like it was malicious. It just felt like it was an impulse. Like this is how it felt like a routine. It felt like a routine. So I feel at this time for you, a new way to flow is being presented to you. And it's being harmonized inside of you. And that harmony is creating, or that attempt to find harmony. Like the water's learning how to level itself and become a consistent flow, like I felt in that vision that I got in my mind's eye. It's kind of uncomfortable at this time, but it's finding a way to level itself out so that it can become harmonious again. And what I feel is that there is that energy that I was feeling with tradition. It's coming with receiving the truth, like how you can adjust more gracefully. And this feels like it's coming from you, wanting to be more poised when receiving the truth, wanting to be more articulate and fluent when receiving the truth. And this doesn't literally have to be with your speech, but in terms of just receiving the message. In terms of your ability to receive the message, very Mercury, your ability to receive the message, understand what it's saying, and feel less uncomfortable or awkward. What I'm feeling is an awkwardness. Awareness of what is good, but awareness of where you are and how what is good and where you are. Because where you are is not bad, but what is good to you right now is what you want. And it's the feeling of bringing this into harmony. Your intuition will help. Your intuition will help. Your intuition will help and is probably helping you at this time. It is helping you because it's helping you see the bigger picture. While this feels like the receiving of information rooted in your tradition and rooted in the way that you did things, this is bringing you back to your integrity, your why. What makes you up? What is your integrity? What is your foundation? What is your foundation? And it feels very heavily connected to this Queen of Swords energy because the Justice symbol, not to mention we have 2 karma cards here. So this feels like no matter what, it was fated. It's meant to happen. Although all things are meant to happen, this may feel like this epiphany that you are going through may have felt like, what? Like major synchronicity, like what the heck is going on type of vibes. And I feel like truth is being highlighted and it is also being understood in different ways. It's being manifested in different ways. And I feel like there's this sight of connection being seen by you, how all things connect. And what's helping you see that is your intuition. What's helping you see that is your intuition. Because not only does it lead to the turning of a cycle, although this feels like it's turning. If this card, it feels like the card is alive and that the card is moving. Although it's 2-dimensional and it's stable, it feels like it's moving to me. And what it feels like is now you're moving on a new level. There's a new level with the 3 of Wands, a new level. It's like getting higher and higher, like walking on a staircase. Inception just came into my mind with the Penrose staircase. Not so paradoxical, but because the Penrose staircase, you kind of move in a circle. It just feels more cyclical. Like this feels like it went from 2-dimension. You went from the level of the 2-dimension now to the 3rd dimension. If that makes sense. It went from flat to now there is width plus height. Is it width and length plus height? Like there's more dimension and richness added to whatever it is that you're experiencing. I feel like life makes sense in a different way right now, and it feels very spiritual. It feels very spiritual. Please let me know if this resonates in the comments down below, because in my feeling, it feels like it makes perfect sense. So this is why I don't even necessarily need that confirmation, but it would be nice to have someone write it and then, you know, encourage others to state how they feel. This was great. This was great. And although these feel like they're not connected, they are connected. It feels watery. This is the Ace of Cups. And it feels very air with the Queen of Swords. But they're the idea of logic and illogic information being united. That's what it feels like, that union. And that's why it feels awkward, because it's water and air creating what mist, creating bubbles. Like it just feels like the union of those two. And what is the stubborn culprit here is, this is how I do things. Like, this is how I did things. This is how I did things. Holding on to a certain way to be. So Pisces, in a nutshell, what I'm getting is December 2020 is going to be a time of transformation and transcendence for you. There's going to be a new way of being that has this Wheel of Fortune. It's been moving. So this integration has been happening, but I feel like it's going to be highlighted in December. And I feel like you've been waiting for it. I feel like you're happy to receive it. And I feel like as well, you might feel ungrateful when you're going through this the experience of, this is not how I do things, while you shift. And it's not received in an ungrateful way at all. It's just understood that this is the process to create harmony. All right, this is your December 2020 reading. That felt real good to release. This is your December 2020 reading. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe. If you like this video, please give it a like. And if you feel compelled to write in the comments down below how you're doing, how this resonates with you, please do so. We would love to hear it. Again, my name is Gemstone, and you can move on. Like from now on, you can look forward to the description box holding your meditative session, and I'll write it so that you are able to receive that message. All right. Take care, and I'll see you in your December 2020 love reading, which is something new that I'll be implementing in December. Take care, Pisces, and continue what you're doing. It feels so lovely. It feels so lovely. Toodles.